This guy has 200,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. His name is Steve Dotto. We're going to talk about how he did it, and we're starting right now. What is going on? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here and you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. Okay, today I'm here with Steve Dotto from the YouTube channel Dotto Tech. Steve, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thrilled to be here with you.
Yeah, likewise. It's awesome to sit here and talk with you, watching your videos for so long and stuff. Steve Dotto is a legend, just in case you don't know. So Steve, you've had great success on your YouTube channel. You get a lot of accolades from what it is that you do. What are some things that have led you to the success that you're having on YouTube? What are some things that you focus on in order to make sure that you're getting results with the content that you're putting out?
Well, what I'm looking at now versus what I started with is, I wish I'd known now then what I know now. But when I first started, I did things really simply. Just a quick background for your audiences. I did a television show for years. So I was in traditional broadcast for many years. And when I came to YouTube, all the people that I knew in the industry, the kind of that I followed, weren't YouTubers. They were Instagram or Facebook people. The social marketing crowd is the one that I fell in with. So I had to take what they were having success with on their markets and then try and translate that into YouTube. I was just starting to discover guys like the video influencers were just starting up. And so there wasn't the kind of coaching that you guys provide now, which is phenomenal to every level.
Thank you.
But having said that, so looking at what they were doing, the number one thing that I all got from the Mari Smiths of the world, the Amy Porterfield, the Sue Zimmermans, was engagement. Honoring your audience and having conversations with your audience in social platforms like Facebook. And I thought YouTube, as far as I'm concerned, is my social platform. It sucks as a social platform, but it was my social platform. I'm talking about sucks from a conversation perspective. But right at the beginning, and that was back when YouTube comments were just this dead zone because people were it was just full of vile nastiness.
They weren't trained up yet.
No.
Yeah, they're still in the training process.
And YouTube hadn't yet made it so that you have to log in with your ID so you could be anonymous. That was a huge, and that happened very early on when I started concentrating on YouTube. That shift, and that was a boon for us because it made a difference for not so much for me, but for people in other verticals. At any rate, right from the beginning, I said, this is my community. And I treated the group as community, and I talked to them, and I answered every single comment, and I read every comment, and I listened, and I massaged my content to what my community was asking for. And I think that is kind of the number one thing that established me. Now, my growth hasn't been phenomenal as far as the number of subscribers, but it's been really steady. It's worked for me. But I look at my YouTube channel as kind of the heart of my entire social platform. And so it's the discovery engine that everybody comes into our system from. And so it's worked tremendously well from that perspective. Strategically, as we've kind of gone along, as I've learned to look to be more strategic, I still feel like I'm really behind as far as all of that goes. But once your channel's a bit established, every change you make, there are unintended consequences for it. So rather than making massive change, we're making one change at a time, and that's where being at a conference like Video Marketing World and starting to follow people like you and your kind of posse of new YouTube what do you call it? YouTube teachers, trainers,
I'm not
educators.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm getting, even though I've been in the game as long as most of them, I learn from them because I'm concentrating on building my content, my channel. The perspective and all of the other things, just it opens my mind, and I often get why am I doing it this way? What am I? So now what are we going to do about it?
Sure. Now, one thing that I really like, and I've heard through conversations that we've had here, and I've heard through conversations that I've heard you have with others as well. One thing that I really like, and I would like to kind of dig into a little bit, is how kind of like the flag you carry is making sure that you honor your audience. Could you give me a little bit of insight in terms of, if somebody's wanting to honor their audience, could you define that and kind of explain kind of some of the things that you do to make sure that you're really bringing value to the people that are watching your videos?
I'm glad that you kind of picked that up. That's nice, and you said it well. My history is television, meaning that for 20 years, my customer was the jackass that was the boss of the programming department of the network, who I had to work my way through to make sure I had my time slot because there was very limited inventory, or the marketing agency that was standing between me and the technology company who was funding my show. They were my customers. The people who watched my show were incidental. They were spectators that weren't part of the equation. When I came to YouTube, I had an epiphany. Like, all of a sudden, for the first time, the people who watched my show were the ones that mattered, and that would ultimately matter whether I was successful numerically or financially. And it was such a liberating experience. Now, the reason we lasted 20 years on television was I respected and honored my relationship with the networks and with the sponsors. They knew they could trust me. So I've always had that DNA of what takes a solid business relationship. Being able to take that attitude to a community was second nature for me. It's not, I didn't think, I'm going to be really smart by doing this. It just became second nature. But that respect for the audience, making sure that you're always paying attention to who they are, what they are, has, I think, contributed to my reputation online, which contributes to growth and stability and retention. But another thing it does is when you start kind of drilling down and breaking it down, if you are a YouTube content creator, you've taken this on as a responsibility. You think of it probably as that your decisions and your content impact you, and they do. We're going to be on air for 20 minutes now, 25 minutes, maybe less, maybe more. If you have 30,000 people watch this, we've just taken how many hours of productivity out of the ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's time of productivity. It's time from relationship building. It's time from just relaxing, de-stressing. All of that stuff. Yeah,
we're telling you that we're going to make sure if we truly respect you, we value your time as much as you should be valuing your time. So we better be giving you value in it. So all of a sudden that weight of responsibility comes. That's where the respect comes from, and it means that you respect the content that you're delivering as valuable. You respect your community, and you respect yourself as somebody that they can trust. Yeah. In order to deliver that content. So that's kind of where that comes from.
So delivering with integrity.
Yeah.
It's kind of wrap that all up. Deliver with integrity. Consider your audience, because if you're providing value to your audience is going to provide value back in terms of the actual numbers, in terms of your financial benefit and all that stuff. So it's just like a positive experience all the way around. When you're focused on the audience first.
And you are so on point with that, and that word dealing with integrity. That's what almost stopped me from being an online personality. Is when I started watching, I was seeing all of the less than ethical practices that were going on, and I didn't want my brand to get mixed up in that. And that's one of the reasons that I think that's one of the things that held back my growth, because I won't take an easy way out. I have to take a way out that I understand, that I believe is an ethical and kind of moral way to build your channel.
Which also falls back on integrity.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely. Yeah, like all the way around, it's just coming at it with integrity.
And I'm not saying this to try and for self-aggrandizement, but what I'm saying is that if you do that work, if you stay true to your principles, by respecting your audience and knowing that they're first, you're going to grow. Your success, numerical success, may or may not be what you're hoping for. I think it's a real dark place to start comparing yourself always to others, so try not to do that. But, determining what success looks like for you, and if you can get into that soft area of success looks like me making a difference in other people's lives, and then through comments and through engagements, recognizing that you do, that's a really good place to be. And I see that, and I don't want to blow smoke up your kilt, but I see that with your community. I saw that with how your people reacted to you here at the show. It was heartwarming to see how they came up, and they were you could tell that they were looking to you for leadership. And I know that you take that on as a serious responsibility yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, and thank you for that. In terms of your content decisions, when you're uploading content to YouTube, because you have the side of making sure that you're valuing your audience and giving them what they want and approaching them with respect, so to speak. When you're making your content decisions on hey, what is it that I'm going to upload to my channel to make sure that, one, I'm serving my audience, and two, to make sure that it's going to serve you in terms of view counts and generating subscribers and things like that. What is your thought process behind that?
My first thought, and I'm not sure this is the best way to do it, my first thought process, and when a seed gets planted for a new video, and we produce 3 or 4 new videos a week typically on kind of different topics, but when a seed gets planted for me, and we keep an Asana list, by the way. I keep every idea is in ideas. I've got an idea chart, which is any links or any videos that I see that I might want to replicate or steal from somebody else, I put in this list, or any comments from my community. So it typically comes from my community asking me questions about something we've done. Because one of the things Jeremy and other people teach is this whole concept of nested videos, where one video relating to the next video relating to the next video really adds traction.
Now, to generate the binge watch,
yes,
right, is
exactly
what you're leading to.
Now, I can't be strategic enough personally to plan out a series of 8 videos all at once. But what will happen is I'll post a video like we did, let's say, on Google Calendar. I'll get great response to my stuff's all how-to, by the way. So I'll get great response to that Google Calendar. I'll get lots more engagement and lots of questions that I realized I probably should have answered in that first one. That will lead to a second video pretty quickly thereafter. There'll still be a 6-week gap. It would be better if it was a 1 or a 2-week gap. I recognize that. But we work within our own environment, right? So that's the process. Then I kind of boil back into some of the strategies you guys teach around doing a little bit of keyword research on it. But I've decided what the content is, because I've decided what I want to teach that my community's told me is valuable, and I've decided valuable. I don't build my videos based on what the algorithm or what research tells me are popular topics. I don't go a populist way. I'm more reactive to my community's needs, and that allows me to stay reactive to new launches and seasonal opportunities. A new release of Gmail, a rebrand of or a reskin of Gmail. That's an opportunity for me to post a video quickly that I know I'm going to get great traction on, and it's going to lead me into a whole bunch of Gmail stuff over the next quarter type thing.
Nice, really good.
Yeah.
So, Steve, first I want to say again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing your information. Of course, there's going to be links to Steve down in the description at the top of the video. In addition to that, if people want to find out more about you or get in contact with you, how do they do that?
Well, the best way is obviously subscribe to the Dottotech channel. I do read each and every comment, so if you comment there, I do read all the comments, so I appreciate that. Or dottotech.com. We do a weekly webinar. I'll do one pitch. Every week, one of the technologies that I'm passionate about is webinars. I think they're awesome tools, and because of my background in live TV and radio, I've got a unique take on it, and I explore the different webinar tools and how they work technically as well as practically. And so to kind of walk the walk, every week on Wednesday, we do Webinar Wednesday, which is a straight up tutorial where I teach some aspect of social marketing or technology or productivity. They're free. They do get you on my mail list, but sign up for Webinar Wednesday. I'll give you a link to that. Every week it's a different topic, and I think that's the best entry into our community. And I hope to see some of your people there.
Fantastic, Steve. Well, again, thank you so much for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. And if you want to learn how to grow your channel, make videos, and all types of other YouTube related stuff, start now by hitting the round subscribe icon so you don't miss anything. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.